You've been trying for weeks, but you still can't figure out how can you maximize your potential. Well, first, let's take a few steps back. Why should you even bother to improve yourself? You and your friends are already enjoying your time. You're on social media scrolling. You see all these useless slut whores. You're liking all their photos. You're beating your meat to them. Then you get the brilliant idea. Oh, I should send her some money. Yo, dumbass starts sending her money. Since you're already sending bitches money, you think, why not send niggas money too? You download all these sport betting apps. You start betting on these teams to win, these players to win. Hooray! I just won $50 after spending $1,000. Let's celebrate. You go out, you're smoking, you're getting drunk. And you know, since you're already out, you gotta eat. Let's go ahead and get some unhealthy fast food. Let's hit up McDonald's. You do that, you come home after a long night of degeneracy. You lay in your bed. Instead of going to sleep, you're scrolling to social media again. Ass, tits, idiots. And since you have the attention span of a goldfish, that's not enough for you. As soon as you're finished with that, you take on escapism. You're binge watching all these TV shows, anime. You're playing video games late at night. Your life is fantastic. You're living a life of a donkey. Once it gets uncomfortably silent, you will realize you're depressed. You're fat as fuck. You don't have friends who care enough to check on you. You don't have the confidence or skill set to talk to women, nor can you even attract the type of woman you want. You're a donkey. Your only use is to be laughed at and carry other people's bullshit. And you know this. You know you want to be a modern day Renaissance man. You want to have a wide variety of skills and navigate through various situations. You want to be in shape. You want to be successful. You want to have all the girls. Some of you try to pretend and act like you don't care about all of this. But you do. Because deep down, being a donkey is painful. And if you don't structure your life properly, you will suffer more stupidly than you have to. During the 2020 pandemic, I had no structure at all. Classes were online. It was easy to finesse. You just pull up the Quizlet, type it in. Super easy. There was no point to go outside. No point for me to film. It was lockdowns. No one's out there anyways. Naturally, I stopped caring about my appearance. I stopped getting regular haircuts. I stopped taking care of my skin. You know, I was doing a little working out here and there. I was very frail. My main goal was to gain muscle. But now that the gym's closed, there's no point to gain muscle. I was isolated and extremely bored. I needed something to stimulate me to fill the void of boredom. That's when I started pouring my excess energy into scrolling on social media and playing video games late at night. This was cool. It was fun while it lasted. Eventually, over time, the stimulation started to wear off. It started not to hit the same. So as COVID was lifting, I decided to up the ante. 2021, I get my girlfriend at the time. She was overstimulated by TikTok and Netflix, so we had similarities and we bonded instantly. This was great. We spent a lot of time together. It got to the point where even one time we were skipping exams just to do degenerate activities. And we were celebrating the fact that we skipped the exam.
So this is to skip an exam and yeah.
Kind of scared.
Cheers.
Our main ways of bonding even further than we already had through our past bad habits were by creating new bad habits. So we started fucking and eating all the time. If we weren't fucking, we were eating. If she wasn't eating dick, she was fucking up some breadsticks. It got so bad to the point where one time we were out to dinner. We ate all the dinner. Immediately after dinner, we went to the movies. We got popcorns and snacks there. Watched the movie. As soon as we left the movie, we went to Crumble Cookies. If you guys don't know what Crumble Cookie is, they have a cookie like the size of your head. It's extremely good. We got 4 of them bitches, and we ate them all in the same night.
So, where we at?
Atlanta.
We at Crumble. Where is it? Well, anyways. This is our new home.
Life was amazing. Anytime I felt the slightest bit of unhappy or a bit of resistance, I had a plethora of bad habits I could go to relieve that. It got to the point where I ate enough food to end world hunger and I busted enough nuts to cover every single inch of my room in semen. It was great, but like all habits, it leads to a result, and that result was catastrophic. Remember how I said classes were online, I was finessing, I was skipping classes, celebrating it? Well, I wasn't actually learning, and it came time where I had 3 midterms in 1 week. 3 midterms that you had to show up to class for. I didn't study for any of them. Of course I failed. I even did the strategy where you put all C's because apparently that's supposed to get you a guaranteed passing grade. I got a 30. So my potential in the class to get a good grade was extremely low. My GPA started to look like a good gas price. But I didn't really care at the time because I'm thinking, shit, bro, like I'm about to be a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. School is just a safety net. This degree is just a safety net. I don't care. Wait, I haven't uploaded in months. I literally haven't filmed and uploaded in months, and I'm losing 100 subscribers on a daily basis. How can I call myself a content creator? I'm not even making any money. I'm not even getting any views. The icing on the cake, in fact, was making me lose the one thing that was going for me, which was my frail, somewhat six-pack physique. I went from this frail figure to a dad bod. I remember looking in the mirror, I took the picture, I captioned it dad bod, and I was flexing like I just won a world championship. Like it's something to be proud of. But deep down, I was miserable. And I couldn't even contain how miserable I was. All of these factors ultimately made my mood shitted. Even when I was with my girlfriend and we would try to partake in our usual bad habits, they just didn't even stimulate me anymore because I realized the results of them.
Yo, this one's Mama's favorite, whatever, Mama's recipe. This one's sugar something. That one looks buzz. Why didn't I get the gingerbread one? These look actually good and warm. But anyways, yeah.
Eventually, the vibe being off, me not being stimulated by these actions anymore, wore off the relationship because that's the only thing we connected on. We started arguing more. Arguments got stupider and stupider. We ended up breaking over something futile. I don't even remember why we broke up. I don't remember the argument that caused a breakup. But the underlying reason was just because we no longer could vibe. We no longer had that connection to these bad habits. We weren't pleasant to be around. But I'm thinking, I spent so much money. I was fucking this girl 3 times a day, buying food 3 times a day. There's no way she's just gonna desert me. It's impossible, right? 10 days later, she went back to her ex immediately. Not even a month or like any type of conversation. She went back to her ex. It could have happened the next day. I don't know. But I found out in 10 days. And I never heard from the girl to this day. At the time, I was devastated. Isolated. Again. But this time, I have no vices, no bad habits to distract me. Because it doesn't stimulate me enough. Once you go from fucking 3 times a day, busting nuts every damn where, nuts all over my floor, nuts all over my bed. Okay. I'm going a little too crazy. You get the point. Eating food, the best fast food all the time. Binge watching shows. Video games. Once that's all taken away, you're just a shell. You're hollow. I even tried to do other things during this time period to relieve the pain that I was feeling. I was going out with my friends. But even when I was with my friends, I was alone. It got so bad that I was just standoffish. I wouldn't even engage when the group was engaging in conversation. I didn't even tell my friend this at the time. I didn't tell him about the breakup. But he noticed the behavior happening so often that he couldn't help but take out his phone and record me laughing, making fun of me, just being standoffish, not engaging in a group.
Right out just to the Lemon Street and Gaston. You do Gaston Lemon Street, you pull up, that's the Curry range. That's the.
They have another war with it.
No, it's with that Thunder game winner range.
Yep.
Trey Young just did it through.
Man, we missed it. We missed it. That's always intrigued.
All of this made me realize that my bad habits, the way I was living life with no structure, was just a temporary relief to fill the void of boredom. It's like giving a starving African child candy. In the moment, it's satiating and it feels like it's stopping the hunger, but over time, you realize it's not nutritious and it's gonna lead to more problems. Me knowing all of this, I couldn't go down that same path. I had to change my life. I got into self-improvement. I was determined to get my physique back. I started going to the gym every single day. Instead of fucking doing all of this, I started going to the gym anytime, morning, night, it did not matter. I was in there. And eventually I went from this disgusting dad bod to a movie star physique in just a few months. I started actually learning. I stopped doing the Quizlet method. I stopped finessing. I stayed in class. I studied. And I eventually graduated with a 3.5 GPA. I started filming and posting again. Every weekend I was out filming. I would film, come back home and edit. Instead of playing video games late at night, you would see me editing for hours. hours on end. During that time period, I made some of the highest quality videos I ever did. I made some of the videos that even allowed you guys to be watching this video right now. You would have never discovered me without that time period. And just as a bonus, the analytics went up, the money went up. I started gaining hundreds of millions of views on a monthly basis, hundreds of thousands of followers across all platforms. There was even a time where I was gaining 10,000 followers on a weekly basis. It would go 30K, 40K, 50K. It just kept going up because I was working. My work ethic kept going up. My focused work hours were going up and I was reaping the results. All this gave me an inner confidence that you can't take away. Confidence that you gain from doing the hard task. Naturally, as I'm talking to more women because of work, I got better at talking to women. And now that I have this swagger and confidence with me, I'm able to attract a higher quality of women. I built a roster of high quality women. And I don't just mean they look good. Of course they look good, dummy. They was looking good and they were intelligent. But not only that, they were cooking for me. They were cleaning for me. They were going to the gym with me. This is all things I didn't have in the past because I elevated my life. I wasn't able to get this living a life of a donkey. I have all these things and I'm 100 times happier. I'm 100 times happier. True satisfaction is suffering and then getting the reward you suffer for. That's satisfaction. In the grand scheme of things, all these accomplishments are minuscule. I'm capable of so much more. But that's the beauty of self-improvement. If you delay gratification, you stay disciplined, you don't settle for less, what you can achieve is limitless. Now I'm gonna tell you how you can start today. First, you need to genuinely ask yourself, what type of person do I want to become? Don't say no stupid bullshit. Like, genuinely ask yourself, because what you aim at determines the way the world is gonna manifest around you. Think of any superhero movie. In the beginning, the protagonist says, I want to be a superhero, I want to beat up bad guys, I want to do this, that, and third. And the whole movie, to no surprise, that's what ends up happening. That's the same in your life. Figure out what you aim at. And you could also say, be careful what you aim at. Because you could aim at something that actually will lead to more suffering. But that's not to say that what you aim at is directly tied to your suffering. There could be moments where you have unprecedented events that induce suffering even with a good aim. For example, when I was determined to get my six-pack, during that time period I was playing a lot of basketball. I ended up breaking my leg. But I knew my aim wasn't bad and wasn't the reason I'm suffering. This was just something that happened unprecedented I couldn't account for. It was random occurrence of misfortune. And that didn't stop me. I still kept going to the gym. I still kept working out. I still kept with the aim and I got the six-pack. So what type of person do you want to become? Okay, I want to be the type of person who gets a lot of girls. Step number 2, why? Why do you want to be the type of person that gets a lot of girls? You need a genuine reason because the reason will allow you to stay disciplined. It's easy to be lazy if you don't have an emotional reason to connect it to the work you're doing. So instead of saying, oh, I just want to fuck a lot of bitches. I just want to fuck. I really just want to fuck. You need to have an intrinsic value to your reasoning. Something that would make sense is you saying, I want to be able to have a lot of options so I can determine who's best fit to be the mother of my child. I don't want to marry a slut whore. I don't want a girl who's comfortable showing her skin on Instagram just for likes and attention. Okay, now you got some real intrinsic reasoning to why you want to be the type of guy who gets a lot of girls. You have the type, you have the why, and now step 3, you need to look across and see who has achieved this feat. Because any problem that you may be experiencing, someone has gotten over it. So look over, it could be in your personal life, it could be online. Who has achieved this feat? Who's getting a lot of girls? Who has access to the highest quality women? And now list 3 things all those people have in common. Some things you might say are they're in shape, they're a good communicator, they're successful. Great. Step 4, how do you acquire these characteristics? How do you acquire any characteristic? The obvious answer is habits. If you do a habit long enough, you end up embodying what that habit is. If you read 1 page today of a book, okay, great. You read 1 page of a book, hooray. But if you read 1 page of a book every day for 5 years, I think it's safe to say that you're a reader now. That's the same with any of these habits that you think of from the people that you want to be. So let's take in shape. What habitual action, what a habit allowed this person to become in shape? Working out every day. We identify that you need to work out every day. Now step 5, what can I do in the next 2 minutes for every day that would allow me to say I work out every day and be in shape? You might come up with 20 push-ups. I could do 20 push-ups in the next 2 minutes. Great. Now you have an action plan. You have what type of person you want to be. You have the why. You have what characteristics it takes to be that type of person. You have the habits it takes to gain those characteristics. And now you have an action that would allow you to form that habit that you can do on a daily basis. Your 20 push-ups. Action plan doesn't have to be perfect. Act first and then adjust based on your measure of success. And I know some people might be thinking, Quincy, oh my gosh, 20 push-ups is not going to get me the body I want. Yes, it is, dummy. You fucking donkey. Because what you're doing is invoking these characteristics. You're gaining the habit and the characteristic of someone who works out every day. And now it's easy for you to build upon that. You work out every day. You start with the 20 push-ups a week. Maybe next week you say, you know what, I want to do 30. Maybe a month from now, you know what, I want to do a full workout in the gym and I want to up my cardio. A year from now, you know what, I want to do this, that. I want to run a marathon. But because you are the type of person who works out every day, these little improvements and adjustments are easy for you to make. The main thing is just doing these tasks every day, because what you do every day is the most important in your life. It was the actions you took in the past that led you to where you are right now. And this version of you right now will soon be the past version. And the actions you take will dictate how your future self will be. Will you be surrounded by bad bitches and successful? Or will you be broke and suffering from male pattern bitchlessness? The choice is yours. You either suffer from discipline or you suffer from everlasting regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. So do the hard things even if you don't feel like it. Your future self is counting on you and everybody else is counting against you. I'm not even supposed to say this, but all those vices and bad habits you have, they want you to stay weak. Useless attention-seeking slut whores, drugs, escapism, social media. All these entities thrive on the fact that you're weak. They want you to forget your life so you can fund theirs. More specifically, so you can fund their grandkids' life. Their grandkids' kids. Get their grandkids' kids a yacht. And some of y'all are doing that. Y'all getting these damn teeny boppers, their yachts, they mansions, all their toys, because you're so obsessed with these platforms, these vices.
How much have you made up until today?
It's actually not as crazy as you think. Well, it's crazy, but like
Just saying it.
4.2 million.
If nobody watched Facebook, nobody watched Instagram, they wouldn't make any money. They wouldn't be able to sell you ads. So it's in their best interest for you to stay weak in an endless consumption loop so you can feed their pockets. They won't even promote videos like this because this encourages users to get up and do something with their lives. So this probably won't go viral, but I have to say it anyways. If you watch this video and do nothing with your life, your future self will hate you. As someone who's had success with self-improvement, I'm here to help. Go to my link in the description and you can join my free school community where like-minded individuals get together and we discuss skills, questions, and encourage each other to be better people today. Sign up. Let's take over the world.